It's known as the beautiful game, but let's face it, it's a complicated game, guys. Soccer, as you like to call it, is like life. Next season, I think we have a real shot.
I'm sorry, Thomas, did nobody tell you? You're fired.
Next goal wins. So normally the history is made by winners. Why do you think maybe winning is not that important? Or is winning important?
I think it depends on what your definition of winning really is. You know, I think obviously in sport and professional sport, there's like a very clear line between winners and losers, and when someone draws. But for me, I've never been a professional sportsman, weirdly, and but I do know that from the point of view of like my job and what I do in film, there's a big infatuation and obsession with being a winner, being successful, your film doing well, winning awards, and constantly doing these things, and it stresses people out. You forget why you got into it. I got into it just to tell stories and to make films because that was really exciting to me. And then suddenly when you're in Hollywood, you get this idea you have to do things to get an award, to get attention. And I think it feels like the same in sport a lot. It's like this, it overclouds the reasons that you got into it.
Yeah, I think for us in American Samoa, specifically for soccer, because it's not such a huge sport, American football overshadows all sports in American Samoa. But for the Football Federation and for my team specifically, like Taika mentioned, success depends on what your goal is. And for us, it was mainly working together to reach a common goal, which was to win a game. And in 2011, we did that.
Good news is, you got two options.
Option one, that's where you're currently at.
Or
American Samoa.
Are you serious?
So Next Goal Wins is a really touching, great and fun movie. How does a normal day with Thomas Rongen look like?
Oh, jeez.
Well, you answer that because I just made up a version of him. It's not even it's not even the real guy.
He's pretty intense. He's very charismatic. When it comes to football, he's very serious, and we got that sense. There was a huge divide when he first came to American Samoa, where it was all about football for him, and he took it very seriously. Of course, we also took it seriously, but not at the level that he took it. And his priorities were different from ours, and there was a huge gap in the beginning. But as you can see in Next Goal Wins, that divide was, made smaller by the relationship that he created with the team and with Kaimana even. But in real life, he's just very animated.
So in Next Goal Wins.
Animated.
Correct, very good.
He's intense.
Yeah.
So in American Samoa, people are very lovely, but you sometimes make fun of them. Was it sometimes where it's like, okay, this is good, now it's enough, or how was it?
No, but there was never anything like that because a lot of it's just jokes, and it's I don't see it as making fun of someone. I see it as laughing at ourselves, because at the end of the day, all Pacific Islanders are the same. We all share very similar cultures and very similar backgrounds and experiences in life, and so
sense of humor.
A sense of humor as well, and we like to laugh at ourselves because we know we're great. But it's also just fun to be able to laugh at yourself. I think if someone else came in from America and did the same thing to the culture,
problems.
Then it's going to be offensive.
But it's Taika,
because it's us telling the same jokes, and also like I have everyone around me on set who are Samoan, and there's like I grew up in a very small town in New Zealand of 600-700 people, and most of like how the film looks and feels is pretty much how I grew up. That's like my hometown. There was one cop, there was like really hardly anything there. There was one shop. There was like and there was like if we'd go to rugby practice, you'd turn up and there wouldn't be a ball. And, it's like we didn't have anything, and and I still make fun of that part of my life.
We haven't scored one goal in the history of our country trying to have a soccer team.
Goal! They scored again. Humiliation.
Mark my words, things are going to change. I got us a new coach.
So are there any do and don'ts if you do a sport movie?
No. No, I don't think so.
I think there are no rules for
there are rules. No, I think I think we need to be able to change the way we tell sports films. Like, I think probably the don't is no one wants to see a film about winners who then keep winning, and then at the end of the movie, big surprise, they win again. You still want to see change in a team, and have somewhere for the characters to go. But I think that it's a great thing to be able to tell a story about a team whose main goal in the film is to get a goal. Because it's like every other film, it's like you have to win the championship, you've got to get to #1, you've got to do all the, and it's like just that simple one little thing that they were striving for. It was just, it might seem like a small thing to most people, but it was a big thing, for that team.
Can I have a private word in you?
Sure.
Yeah. Be honest. How bad is Taika in football, in soccer?
Was it how big of an asshole?
No.
Well, I haven't seen him play, but I guess we'll have to see one day.
I'm not good.
You're not good.
I'm good at rugby, but I'm not good.
Well, you could play for the national team of American Samoa.
Oh,
You don't have to be that good.
Right.
So how does a normal day with Michael Fassbender, your Thomas Rogan, look like?
Well, he's very different to the real life character. Michael is in some ways very, very different in that he's very he's a lot quieter. He's like less outspoken than Thomas is, and we really just gave ourselves permission to to take elements of like a coach, of what we thought a coach like Thomas would be, and then allow Michael to make it his own. Because I think for actors, they have to, even if they're playing real people, at some point they have to take control of it and make it their own thing. Otherwise, it's just like...
Something to drink?
Whiskey, beer, wine?
Yep, we got all those. Which one?
Whiskey, beer, and wine.
I think if you make something like this kind of project, you learn something. Is that something you learned during this project?
I don't know anything about football, but...
Well, I didn't have much to do with the project, anything hands-on, but I think what everybody learned, experiencing what Kaimana has said and her explaining her experiences with the boys and everything, I think they started to realize that Pacific people are so similar because a lot of the cast are from different parts of the Pacific, but they were able to bond so well during the, when they were working on the project that I guess it made Taika's work a lot easier, but more so it made them realize their roots and where they come from, and hopefully it transcends into a lot of the projects that they do in the future.
I learned that we all need to just chill out a bit more, and that's part of the main message of the film is to chill out and be happy and make sure you're doing what makes you happy. And I think for a few years before I made this film, I was taking filmmaking too seriously, and I was becoming like Thomas in my work, and trying to control everything, and I had to be films, and and I didn't get to see my family as much because I was traveling so much, and just sort of missing out on life a little bit. And I think when I made this, we were in Hawaii working around our people, and really understanding, like you can work and have freedom to be happy and to also make sure you enjoy your life.
Thank you very much. Last thing, in Germany, winning is called gewinnen. What's the word in Samoan?
Malo.
Malo. Thank you very much. Always malo.